Hi guys, and welcome to another cozy studio day after weeks of gorgeous hot sunshine. We've got a monsoon currently out there, so I thought it would be really nice to film like a cozy art vlog where you can join me in the studio. And I feel like I'm always so much more productive when I'm filming a vlog, so yeah, I need to get a lot of things done today. But first of all, I really wanted to update you on my latest commission that I've just finished. I wanted to show it in the studio, but it's actually just gone to the courier to go and be delivered and shipped off to America. It was for a beautiful lady called Danielle. The bouquet was absolutely stunning. I always get a sigh of relief when I see, like when I do a bridal commission and a bouquet commission, when I see the bouquet and how beautiful it is, it's literally like a wave of like inspiration, relief and excitement comes over me, because when a bouquet is as beautiful as Danielle's, it makes it such a joy to be able to paint and capture that I feel so honoured and lucky to be able to do that as part of my job. So I thought I would like share with you the process of how I create especially a commission piece like that. But I know that as soon as I see the photos of the bouquet, how it's going to go, and like honestly, when I saw Danielle's bouquet, a wave of relief / inspiration came over me because of how beautiful her bouquet was. I don't want to share too much because obviously they're private photographs, but these are some of the photographs that I used to capture the bouquet. And you'll see that there's orchids in there, roses, peonies, there's all such beautiful flowers, and all in this really nice white and neutral colour palette, which was just absolutely a dream to be able to capture that onto a canvas, because it's one of my favourite things to paint is like neutrals and flowers and greens. So I felt really honoured and really lucky to be able to capture this bouquet in a painting. So from those photographs, the challenges is that the aspect ratio of the canvas was a really beautiful size and shape. However, it was kind of like a longer canvas and the bouquet was round. So that kind of gave me some challenges to try and work out how to position the flowers in a way that felt natural and reminiscent of the bouquet, yet still filled the canvas and filled the space on the canvas, and so that it didn't look awkward and things like that. I also created like a little mock-up. It actually ended up not looking anything like this mock-up, but to me it really helps me to be able to try and understand the shapes and understand where I might want to put things and understand the colour palette. So this is kind of like a really important part of the process, even though it didn't actually end up really looking anything like this. It just helps me to be able to kind of delve deep into the flowers and into the painting and see what direction I want to take it. But generally I feel like the painting kind of evolves by itself and kind of tells me where things want to go as I do it. I always start off a painting, especially a commissioned bouquet, with kind of like a composition grid system to make sure that I'm putting the main focal points of the painting on those cross sections that are going to make the most sense from a composition point of view, but also that are going to tell the story of the painting and what you want to draw most of the attention to. And in this case, it was mostly the orchids, and then kind of like bringing everything round back to those again. So yeah, I start with like the composition, and then I start like blocking in the flowers, and then at this point when I start like putting the flowers in, it's not about what the flowers look like, it's not about getting the right colours, anything like that. It's literally just like mapping it out in my mind so that I can see where things are going to go and how they're going to like interact with each other. And then once I've kind of got like everything onto the canvas, that's when I can start bringing in those layers, making sure that the painting flows. Because sometimes when you work on like a painting subject by subject, as in like I'll work on this flower, then I'll work on this flower, it's kind of hard to bring that all together rather than just it looking like little separate paintings on one big painting. So getting it to flow together is really a part of one of the challenges of especially like a floral painting, but even more so a bouquet, because it's kind of been placed there in a man-made way. So making that flow can be a challenge, and I kind of do that by working through all the layers of the painting together. So rather than like working on one flower from start to completion, I work through the whole painting as I go. So like I'll do the base layer of all the flowers, then the next layer of all the flowers, and kind of bringing the flowers into each other and interlocking them in some way with the brush strokes or the texture. That's how I kind of like bring it all together to make it feel like harmonious still. Because when you do that also, you kind of get the natural colours that meld in between each other as well, like rather than having to recreate exactly the same colour mix, you can kind of mix a colour and then work that through each flower in some way. And so yeah, it was an absolute joy to paint. It's taken me quite a few weeks, but I wanted it to be the only thing I focused on. So I had no other projects whilst I was working on this commission. It was solely, purely my focus for those few weeks. And every time I was in the studio, that's what I'd be working on. That's nice because you can kind of stay in that bubble of inspiration and it doesn't become broken. You can really stay on track and focus on like the imagination that you have for the piece. So yeah, it was an absolute honour to be able to work on Danielle's commission. I don't think I'll be taking any more commissions at least until the end of the year now, because I have other projects to focus on with my course and my painting course. So that's the commission. I'm also really excited to let you know that I have a new class. This is the same as the live class that I had a few weeks ago, called the 3-step approach to make artwork you love without having to rely on tutorials. Because I know that many people love tutorials, but I love to teach people true creative freedom so that you have the power to be able to paint whatever you want in whatever way you want, in your own style. And that's my true passion now, is helping people to achieve that and to be able to make their own art dreams come true. So I have a new class which you can find in the description box, the link for. I'll also pop the link in the comment section. So yeah, this is the same as a live class, but I've re-recorded it so it's not live. So because when I did a live class, I was like interacting with you all and we were in the comment section a lot. So I re-recorded it so that it's just very focused and we can really concentrate together in this 3-step approach that I want to go through with you. And the reason why I've made it as like a sign up feature is because it's kind of more of like an experience than just a video. That's why I've not just like put it out on my YouTube channel, because there's like a workbook that we go through together. It's also, yeah, it's more of an experience and it's more of like a mini coaching session rather than just like a video that you can just sit and watch. It's very interactive and I ask a lot from you to like sit and question yourself, and there's exercises that we work through together. So yeah, to really have that like more of a hands-on approach, I've done it on my website so that I'm more in control of how that happens and comes up and all things like that, and the page that it's on, I kind of wanted everything there, so that's why I've done it on my own website. But if you like the sound of that, once again, the title of the class is the 3-step approach to making artwork you love without having to rely on tutorials. And yeah, this is the workbook that comes along with it. It's all free, it's all completely free, and really I just guide you through a 3-step approach that I teach to see if it's something that you would like to go further with, basically, and to see whether this approach is right for you or not. But yeah, it's just to help people to kind of help people that are ready to break free and just break away from tutorials, that are ready to really find their own creative expression. So yeah, that's the new class. I'll pop the link in the description box and in the comment section. Go check it out, and you can also watch it at a time that's convenient to you, and you can like pause it and then come back to it. And because I know that it's difficult to come to these live classes, and especially for those of you in Australia, I really feel for you. Like I had a lot of emails back saying, I can't make this time because I'm in Australia, and I will really bear that in mind in future. I'm actually going to do another live class, I think, around October time. So my plan potentially is to do 2, one for those that have a different time zone and so on. So that's something that I'm going to definitely look at and bear in mind in the future. So apologies if you missed a live class, if you were not in a time zone that made sense for you. But yeah, so this one you can just watch at your own leisure, and it is the same class, it's the same material and format, it's just not live basically. But in a way that's kind of good, because it means you can, as I say, pause it, come back to it, you can get all your snacks ready, do it at a time that's convenient to you. So I hope you enjoy the class and the lesson, and yeah, I'm excited to like go through it with you. And so yeah, what do I have to do today? I did also think that I could show you some of my new paintings, but right now I do have to do some stuff on my laptop. I have to get like my taxes ready, and this is part of the life of a working artist that isn't always shared. You have to do boring spreadsheet stuff with taxes and numbers and all that like filing system. It's not just all about painting and getting the paints out. So that's what I'm going to do for a bit now. I've got a coffee ready and I'm just going to sit and try and work through these numbers. It is not something that I enjoy, but it is a necessary evil that has to be done. So there we go. Let's go. So also guys, I wanted to show you my latest painting, which is of orchids, which I have just finished. So yeah, I think this painting is finished now. Like, it was really hard to know with this one when it was finished. Like, usually I feel like it's a really obvious thing to me, but this one took a little bit longer. So this painting I actually did from life using this orchid, which obviously the flowers have now died because it was quite a long time ago. In fact, none of it's looking ever so healthy, I think. I don't know, I just cannot keep orchids alive no matter what I do. But it was actually done from life, and I did some sketches as well. Let me see if I can find these sketches because, here they are. So basically, these are like kind of like little studies that I did before I did the whole big canvas. And initially I had a very different idea of where I wanted the flowers to be. And then after doing these sketches, it kind of became clear to me like which composition I was actually going to do. So yeah, it's a really fun way just to do like little drawings of different compositions. I actually used these, I used Indian ink for these on watercolor paper, and yeah, it was really fun just to kind of helps you imagine the placement of things and kind of like the composition and design that you want to go with. And in the end, it saves so much time because rather than like doing that in the painting itself and then you have to keep going over it and keep going over it, you can kind of like do all that with the sketches, and then you have a really clear direction in the way that you want to take the painting. So that was really fun. And yeah, I've got some, I think I took some video of like the process so you can see like the layers that went into it. I first started off with acrylics and I started building up those acrylics. I also purchased and used the high flow acrylics for the first time ever. I'll show you the brand and the exact ones that I used. So this was the brand that I used. It's Golden High Flow series. I just got these off Amazon, and you can like mix your own colours. You don't have to use exactly the colours that are in there. I kind of like put them in a little pot, and because it's obviously very liquid, so you don't really want to put it on a palette. But I did have like a little pot that I put my different colours in, and yeah, basically you just get the drips and the dribbles without having to add lots of water, which obviously you don't really want to do because it weakens the binders in the acrylic paint, which kind of like ruins the archival quality of the paint. So this is a really great way if you want like those drips and that more abstract feeling to do that without kind of like just, yeah, taking away that archival quality of the paint itself. So that was really cool. And then yeah, just I kind of realized that I had too many drips going on at one point, and I kind of wanted to bring it back with the brush strokes and to really see those visible brush strokes. And then right at the last layer, I actually added some oil paint because I just feel like oil paint has just kind of like unmatched level of intense saturated colors and also the texture, to be able to get that really great texture. I feel like acrylic is great, but also when it dries, I feel like you lose some of that texture and you lose a little bit of the saturation, whereas oil paint, I feel like it just stays as is as of when you painted it. So I added those little layers on at the very end last layer to try and just like bring that contrast up a little bit with all the different colors. And so yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. The hardest bit about this painting was getting this flower to look finished but still appear as if it was in the background, because for so long and so many layers, I kind of felt like it was too much in the forefront and it was really difficult to kind of push that back into the depths of the painting. I ended up just using really desaturated colours, like lots of greys, which you can see, kind of just pushing that back a little bit. So yeah, I feel kind of happy with it. I kind of wanted it to blur into the background a little bit and not to be too harsh with the foreground and the background, because with all my paintings, I don't really love like a clear distinction of layers as such. I kind of want them to all blend in together with the layers just like melding into one another. So that was my goal for this painting. But yeah, I really like it. I kind of like how it's got like an abstract impressionistic quality to it, but then there's also a lot of detail going on as well, which makes it look finished. So there we go. That is my latest painting. It's not up for sale yet, but I will be taking photos of it so that I can use them for prints, and it will be up for sale probably in a couple of months or something like that. So yeah, I hope you like it. And I think that is probably all from me today in the studio. I still have a lot of laptop work to do, boring stuff really that you probably don't want to watch. So thank you so much for watching, and also don't forget to check out the new class along with the workbook, how to create artwork that you love without having to rely on tutorials, because I think that's what we all want, right? So yeah, go and check that class out. I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you there. Bye.